Okay, we have a more extensive problem here that has all the pieces of budgeting that you're going to want to be familiar with. In addition to you need to add a balance sheet to it though. But this is Chicka Company, and it manufactures and sells a product that has seasonal variations in demand, with peak sales coming in the third quarter. Okay, she's just completed her first year of business and is beginning to budget for year 2. Okay, so things are still changing. The following information is what she's developed to finish it. The product sells for $8 per unit, and budgeted sales for the next 6 quarters are here. Okay, and the reason you've got to have 6 quarters is because you need those future sales to figure out what your target ending inventory is and things like that. Okay. So sales are collected in the following pattern. 70% in the quarter the sales are made, the remaining 25% in the following quarter, and the beginning balance in cash or in accounts receivable was $65,000, which should be collected in the first quarter. Okay, the company desires an ending inventory of finished units on hand at the end of each quarter equal to 30% of the budgeted sales for the next quarter. So we are going to get through this far. Let's come back to what's in the question and get started. This is the sales budget for it, and we've got a total of 6 quarters that are out here. You'll definitely have, like if you're dealing with a 4-quarter period, you're definitely going to have more months that you're going to have to model out here because you need some of these numbers for the current year. Okay, so these are the units that we expect to sell times $8 per unit. These are my expected sales here. Okay, sales dollars. So it's unit selling price, and these are the dollars. Alright, so next is cash receipts, and this is a process that you need to make sure that you understand. We've got the 4 quarters of cash receipts out here, and there are a lot of ways to do this, and this is not the fastest. Well, it's pretty efficient way to do it, but there are other shortcuts you could take. But I would recommend you start out in a simple way until you're really confident about what you're doing. So accounts receivable are collected in the first quarter. They were $65,000, so this is the $65,000 coming in. And then in the first quarter, we sold $320,000 worth of stuff. So 75% in the first quarter, 25% in the next. All right. In the second quarter, we sold $480,000. So $480,000 times 75% in the first quarter, 25% in the next. Okay, see, you could actually slide that up next to it and not take up all this space, but this is a good way to learn it anyway until you've really got it in your head. In the third quarter, our sales are $800,000. So I've got $800,000 times 75% comes in, 25% in the last quarter, and then $400,000 in the fourth quarter times 75%, and that's the last cash that we get in that first year. Alright, so we would add this up, and these are our total cash collections. Now if you wanted to, you could have totals over here too and make sure that you haven't made a mistake, but I don't think it matters. I don't, Okay, alright, but it's a staggered receipt, and you want to show this so that I can see it, alright? Like we could have taken this 80, we just could have gone 240 and 80, 360, 120, could have been a lot briefer, and eventually, you'll get to that point, but just make sure that you're not going to make a mistake on it, okay, that you're really good at it. So the next thing we figure out is our production budget, and these are our sales in units, okay? Don't forget these sales, these are units. You've got to be really careful. First we figure out the units, and then we move to dollars, okay, for materials. So these are all the units that I'm going to sell for each quarter. And the desired ending inventory, how much is it? The company desires an ending inventory of finished units on hand at the end of each quarter equal to 30% of the budgeted sales for the next quarter. Okay, and they started out the year with 12,000 units on hand. So here's my desired ending inventory is going to be 30% of this. Okay, of the next period sales. There is 30. 30% of 100,000. 50,000 times 30% is 15,000. I should probably have gone the other way with the arrow, huh? Let's go this way. Oops. So this goes this way. Okay? Alright, so that's our desired ending inventory, and that gives us what we need. This is what's needed. We can subtract our beginning inventory then. They told us that they had a beginning inventory of 12,000 units in the first quarter, and beginning inventory would be ending inventory from the prior quarter. So that 18,000 comes from there. Okay, and there's our 30,000. You with me? Okay. Gives us the number of units that we need to produce. Okay, units to produce. Okay, 46,7 divided by 56, yeah. Alright, so now that we've got that, we can move on to how much material do we need to produce those units. You know, and just think, here we've got one product that sells for $8, a fairly simple cash collection schedule. If the units they sell, it's one product again with all the same assumptions, and then we're going to buy materials at 5 pounds per unit. Imagine it when you've got maybe thousands and thousands of products, you know, and prices all over the place, you know, in complex systems. So you can see why budgeting ends up to be a really big job. So here are my units. Times 5 pounds per unit. This is how many pounds we need then. Pounds of material. Just so we're clear on that. Desired ending inventory is, let's look at this for a minute here. 5 pounds of raw material are required to complete 1 unit of product. The company requires an ending inventory of raw materials on hand at the end of each quarter, equal to 10% of the production needs of the following quarter. And they started out with 23,000 pounds of material on hand. So we're looking at pounds here, okay? Desired ending inventory is 36, which is 10% here. All right? You can see all of our desired ending inventories here. That looked like an F, not like a pound. There. Okay? So 10%, that's where we get all of our desired ending. That brings us to what we need. Then we can subtract beginning inventory. This 23,000 was given, but the beginning inventory would have been ending inventory from the prior month. Okay, there's our 42.5, etc. Okay, so these are the pounds that we need, plus desired ending inventory gives you the total amount that we need, less beginning inventory is the amount of material to be purchased. Okay, so I'm going to leave it off right there, and we'll pick it up at, it's part of cash disbursements we'll do. Okay.